Hello all, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be going through the object info palette of Vectorworks. So we'll start with the basics. Let's make a line. So let's turn this checkbox off for now. So this object info palette shows the properties of the geometry of the BIM elements that you just create. And right now it shows that we have made a line. We have it selected. Let's select it so that it shows that it's a line, what class it is on, what layer it is on, and what plane it is on. It also shows the length, angle, and all of these properties you can change from here. So if I want this to be in the, let's say, non-plot class, I'll just set it on non-plot. And right now, class non-plot is set to not visible. So we'll just change that. Let's select it. You can also change the layer it is on, and you can also change the length of it. Also, in the object info palette, you can give some simple mathematical equations. So if I want to increase it by, let's say, 9 inches, I'll just put a plus symbol and put it 9 inches, and it will increase by 9 inches. You can give the angle. Let's say I want it on 35 degrees, so it will rotate it by 35 degrees. And you can change the position, the x and y coordinates of the line as well, or not just line, any other geometry. You can check this box on which shows the direction of this line. You will find it useful if you're using the start point style. Let's say I want an arrow on this line. So this is an arrow, but if I want it that way, I'll just reverse this direction. You see the direction of this line just changed like that. So this is how you can use object info palette for a basic geometry like a line. Let's use it for some other things as well. Let's make a rectangle. So this is a rectangle. Again, you can change the size of this rectangle. You can change the rotation. Let's say I want it on 60 degrees. You'll also see some basic properties of this rectangle, like what are its ratios, perimeter, area. This is very useful when you are calculating area of a room, or let's say a plot. You can change the units of these areas and perimeters from, let's document settings, units, and we'll just change the area from square meters to, let's say, we want it in yards. And now this will show the area in yards, just like that. And it works for other geometries also. Like if I make a polygon, I don't want to see the direction. This will show the area and perimeter of this geometry as well. You change the properties, and these will automatically be updated. So let's move to something more complex than this. Let's make a wall. So this is a wall now, and these other properties are exactly what we saw for the line. I can change the length, angle, and x and y position of this particular element. Let's say we make a door in it. Wall is too short for this. Let's increase the wall a little bit and drag this door in between. Now we want the door to open on the inside, so we will just flip it from here. Right. So the properties of this door can be edited from here. So you want the door to be, let's say it's a small door. So it will be 2 feet and 6 inches. We want the height to be 7 feet. And similarly, you can change the top shape, configuration, swing open. We can have it double part, or can make it sliding, overhead. Basic door properties. You can change all of them, all of that from here. Uh, let's see it in 3D. So this is our door. We can also make it open. We can just click this box, show 3D open, and that will open the door for us. So these are the properties of a door, and similar properties are for windows as well. Let's insert a window in here. We'll have to make it small, I think. Nice, fine. So these are the properties of the windows. Let's make it a short window, small window like that. So these properties also you can change from here. So this is basically the shape tab of the object info palette. Now there's also this IFC data palette in here. So what it does is that it specifies the properties of a particular element. For example, this is a door. Now set on default settings, but you can change it. You can always specify it as a BIM door, and then you can change its properties from here. Whether it's a fire exit, its acoustical ratings, its manufacturer, you can just put in, and let's say it's of some famous plywood company, and then you can export the data. This is particularly useful for big projects. Now I have never used this tool, the recording of this IFC data, for my projects. If you need it, I think you are too overqualified to be watching this video. Um, for this is not for small projects. This is only useful for big projects where you need to know the specification of each and every product, and the products are made in bulk. So not very useful for me. See if try it, and if it's useful for me, do let me know in the comments. And then let's look over the render tool. So what it does is it specifies the visual appearance of any 3D geometry. See, if I make a rectangle, I cannot edit the render properties of this, because the appearance of this is controlled through here, the classes or the attributes panel. But for 3D, what we can do, we can also change the appearance of of a 3D object through here. If I select this red color, it will turn into a red wall. But for whenever you're exporting your project to some 3D rendering software, you also need the two faces to have different textures, so you can render them separately. So this is where this tab is useful. Just select the texture, uh, set it from by class to texture, and then what you can do is, this is for overall. Now we don't want overall. For overall you want by class, but the left face we want one texture, and let's say it's we'll select some kind of brick face. Let's select this for now. Now this face will have this brick texture, and the right and for the right we want some tile finish. Let's select another texture from here. Um, want some tile. Let's go for this one. Yeah, so it's not visible from here. Let's turn the model. So you see we have got two textures, both the on both the faces of this wall, and which you can edit from here. And this mapping tool is basically where you want the texture to be, how do you want it aligned on the surface. So for circular faces, you will want to go for spherical and cylindrical align mode, and most times auto align plane works well. But some places where your geometry is complex, you might want to play around with the other options. You have the option to change the scale, the rotation, figure it out what works best for your rendering. You can also match properties, just do these changes on one wall, and then drag and drop on others, just like that. So this also works for 3D polys. So if I make a rectangle, I extrude it. So this will have similar working. All you can change the texture, how it appears. You can select it from here, just like that. Also, attribute mapping. Let's go over the attribute mapping quickly. If I make a rectangle and I give it a hatch, let's say this is a hatch. Now I don't want the angle of this hatch to be exactly aligned to the rectangle. I want it to be on a certain angle. Or if I want to change the scale of it, I'll just uh, yeah, option A is the shortcut. I'll just select this attribute mapping tool, and I can scale up the hatch, or I can scale down the hatch, or I can move around the hatch. See, just like that. So this is how it's useful. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.